The walk of shame. Truly something you don't want anyone to see. But can you imagine being a celebrity? With the paparazzi basically everywhere, some stars haven't been so lucky when trying to return home from a wild night. Hey guys, I'm your host Lauren, and today we're going to be counting down the top 10 celebrities caught doing the walk of shame. Starting off at number 10, Blake Lively and Leonardo DiCaprio. Back before Ryan Reynolds, there was Leonardo DiCaprio. Believing that the two had a relationship lasting about 5 months, it's said to have been a whirlwind. Reportedly, Blake had a huge crush on the actor before the relationship began back in 2011. During the pair's brief romance, they were seen partying on Steven Spielberg's yacht, on a getaway in Italy, as well as a Disneyland date. With the two being huge stars, it's easy to assume many of their private moments will find their way to the public and their fans. I'm sure they didn't expect their walk of shame photos to emerge so fast though. The two were seen partying all night in France back in May of 2011, with Blake wearing a flowy white dress and Leo in a blue shirt and some jeans. The next morning, the paparazzi caught the two walking out in the same outfits as the night before, with Blake's hair looking a little bit disheveled, and Leo wearing a baseball cap that's nearly covering his eyes. It wasn't long after this that the couple ended up calling it all off. An insider said when asked about the two, Blake wasn't ready to move to the next level. It was all just too much too quickly. Blake wasn't ready to settle down. Funnily enough though, it was Blake who ended up settling down much quicker, marrying Ryan Reynolds just a year later. Coming in at number 9, Katy Perry and John Mayer. Katy Perry and John had a very on-again, off-again relationship for about 3 years, from 2012 to 2015, reportedly breaking up 3 times during the years, even Katy sporting 3 different diamond rings on her ring finger during the relationship. When talking about their relationship with John and the song they released together, Katy says, "I've been such a fan. I think he's so incredibly talented and gifted and a genius songwriter. So to be part of anything he was doing was just natural." As public as their relationship was at the time, of course their intimate moments were caught too. After Katy treated John Mayer to a birthday dinner date in New York, it looks like it became a little bit more after the pair went back to John's house that night. The pair were seen leaving Wednesday morning while John kept his head held high. Katy was seen in a sweatsuit with her hood covering and hanging her head, appearing to avoid the photos. Luckily, neither of them had to do the walk of shame alone. Number 8, Justin Bieber. Does anyone else remember when Justin Bieber was doing the walk of shame, but from a gentleman's club? Back when Justin was just 19, he had a bit of a reputation for being a party animal. He really lived up to the name though when he visited Rio back in 2013. He visited a nightclub which many media sources labeled as a brothel, but source describes the scene a little differently, saying, "It's more like an old-fashioned gentleman's club. It isn't over-the-top nice, it isn't sleazy either. It has a dance floor, and for what it is, it's pretty high-end. It's not cheap to get in there. Playboy types go there and local businessmen." This was also the same weekend though that someone threw a water bottle at him while he was performing. This really made it a media frenzy for the whole time he was in Rio. Justin was seen leaving the club surrounded by bodyguards, with his face and most of his body covered with a sheet, clearly trying to disguise himself from the paparazzi. He wasn't so lucky as his tattoo became visible, proving to be a match for the star. An insider later reveals that Justin thought him and his friends were just going to be visiting a private club, but of course that wasn't the case. A club insider tells the press, "It is like a bar and club combined. The girls that work there, some have clothes on, some kinda don't." No one on his team ever made a comment about the teenage Bieber, and honestly it kinda makes sense. Number 7, Rihanna. Rihanna has never been one to worry too much about being caught doing the walk of shame. She has been seen doing the walk of shame many times throughout the years and doesn't seem to mind too much. Back in 2012, Rihanna had a little 8-week fling with the actor Ashton Kutcher. Since it was just a fling and appearing to be nothing too serious, the couple would try to keep it as discreet as possible. After exchanging numbers when they first met, then moving to a couple exchange texts, the pair snuck away to a hotel in Santa Monica just a few weeks later. A source said to the press, "Rihanna has told friends he's funny, he's cute. Both of them love a good time and think they're a little bit too busy for anything serious just yet." Well, keeping all things secretive, Rihanna was heading to Ashton's mansion around midnight back in 2012, then pictured again leaving the mansion at 4 a.m. Neither have ever commented on the photos emerging, but you can see it's clear they didn't want to be spotted that night. Zac Efron and Michelle Rodriguez. Zac and Michelle surprised fans when the two were spotted hooking up back in 2014 due to their 10-year age gap. Spotted doing a few romantic dates like horseback riding and dancing in an Italian nightclub. Rumors quickly sparked the two were dating. Even though their vacation seemed to come to an end, it didn't look like their fling was ending anytime soon. When they returned to California, Irina, it appeared like the two wanted to keep things on the down low. Zach was seen leaving Michelle's house in the morning, carrying a skateboard and a duffel bag. Clearly hiding from the impending photos, he turns down an alley. Even with their romantic-looking moments, the two just didn't seem to be a match in the end, and called it quits just 2 months later. Number 5. Irina Shayk. Irina Shayk, the Russian model, looks good no matter what she does, even doing the walk of shame. Though we know Irina dated the famous soccer player Cristiano Ronaldo for 5 years, from 2010 to 2015. But before, of course, they hid and would meet up privately. Being in the public eye, is there really any way to meet up privately though? Back in 2010, they tried. The two met after meeting on the set of an Armani Exchange ad, and it seemed to be not long before they started officially dating. Irina was seen partying in a short white dress and a black clutch not long after they met. The next morning, she was seen walking down the street in the exact same outfit, and what appears to be a fresh face. Rumors started to pop up about how she spent the night in Ronaldo's home the previous night. Despite them being an it couple for years afterwards, it just didn't seem to hold, and the two parted ways in 2015. Speculation was that Irina just didn't get along with his mother, or about Ronaldo just not wanting children at the time. But they have both denied those theories, deciding to keep the breakup just to themselves. Number 4. Jessica Simpson. Another fling in Hollywood was that of Jessica Simpson and Adam Levine. A few reports said the two dated in private, with others saying the whole thing was just a fling, but who's to say? Allegedly, the two were romantically linked in 2004 while Jessica was still married. Neither of the singers have confirmed or denied this throughout the years, but the two were seen partying together in LA. One source saying, Jessica and Adam were very close in the booth. She kept putting his hand on his leg. It was obvious there was something weird going on. The source then goes on to say how Adam talked about how he and Jessica got it on just a few days later. After filing for divorce with her husband Nick, it seemed her and Adam never really lost touch through the years. Reportedly, the two hooked up yet again in 2006, and she appears to be caught in the act this time. In January of that year, the two were said to have spent the night together in a West Hollywood suite. The next morning, she is seen wearing a man's shirt, which many assume to be Adam's. She got picked up by a friend. Again, the two have neither confirmed nor denied this rumor, so even now we're unsure if it really was Adam with her in the suites that night. But many do believe that their silence gave enough reason to believe this fling to be true. But what do you guys think? Number 3. Lindsay Lohan. During the peak of her partying years, Lindsay Lohan could not stay out of the public eye. Rumored to have been caught kissing Jessica Alba's husband just a week before, it seemed like back then she moved quickly. Lindsay went out all night partying with a star from How I Met Your Mother, Jason Segel, out in West Hollywood, but it doesn't seem to end there. The next morning, Lindsay was seen leaving his house with what appears to be a stuffed Dracula puppet under her arm. This puppet was used in Jason's film Forgetting Sarah Marshall. According to Jason, absolutely nothing went on with the two that night, or ever. When he was asked about Lindsay, he just responded by saying, "Oh man, no," and walked away. The source stated that this was really nothing more than a party going late. He reportedly let several people stay over, and there's absolutely nothing going on with the two. What do you guys think? Were they just two friends hanging out, or do you think it was more of a fling back in 2009? Number 2. Harry Styles. Let's talk about Harry Styles and Taylor Swift. The two had an on-again, off-again romance between 2012 and 2013. After meeting backstage at the 2012 Kids' Choice Awards, where Taylor was spotted dancing and singing along to his band, the One Direction song, What Makes You Beautiful, sparking dating rumors back in 2012 after they were seen together in Central Park. The same month they were seen in Times Square kissing as the ball dropped on New Year's Eve. Even though many fans were rooting for the two, it just didn't seem to be a match, and they called it quits following a heated argument in the Virgin Islands. Of course, before this, back when the two really revealed what was going on, they had the paparazzi following them closely in an attempt to catch them in the act, and they ended up getting just that. Spotting Harry Styles leaving the hotel Taylor was staying at in the morning. His outfit wouldn't really give him away, but it was what he was carrying that did. He was seen holding a small overnight bag and a charger. I mean, personally, I think it's pretty clear he spent the night with Taylor, even if it didn't work out with the pair. Just a year later, Taylor shared her inspiration for the song Style, which many already believe to be about Harry. She said, "Style is actually about those relationships that are never really done. You always kind of have that one person who you feel like might interrupt your wedding and be like, don't do it, we're not over yet. set. I think everybody has that one person who kind of floats in and out of their life, and the narrative is truly never over. And at number 1, we have January Jones. January Jones's Walk of Shame photos might just be the most iconic. On June 8th in 2010, the Mad Men star went to a party at the Sunset Tower Hotel in LA. The party was sponsored by GQ and was a fundraiser for World Ocean Day, making it seem like her dress choice was chosen to keep with the theme. Wearing a strapless, sequined, blue and green short dress really seemed to fit the ocean vibe. The next morning, she was spotted wearing the same dress and getting out of a cab. Her blowout hair had fallen out, and she looks a bit surprised to see the paparazzi snapping her photos as she got up onto the curb and through the grass. She never revealed what she was doing that night, so I guess we'll never know. You really can't get away with anything in Hollywood. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. Who do you think had the most iconic walk of shame? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one.